Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Zach with Dr. Eyeball MD. If you're new to the channel, I'm a third-year ophthalmology resident. On the channel, we focus on things about medicine, residency, following me along of the journey of being a doctor, becoming an ophthalmologist, and then becoming an oculoplastic surgeon. We will continue the journey, and you guys can follow me along, and see where we go with it. Hopefully I provide you some helpful information along the way, so if you're interested in any of that, go ahead, subscribe to the channel down below. You may have noticed the new sign I have here for the channel. My mom actually got me that for Christmas, so thanks, Mom. And I will link down to the creator of the neon sign that was made on Etsy, so if you're interested, it'll be down in the description. Without further ado, let's get into the vlog. What's up? Zach here. It is 5:30 in the morning. Yes, 5:30 in the morning. One downside to today is that although we do get to operate the entire day, I forgot to make a lunch. We have no lunch break. So I grabbed these mangoes to eat this morning to stock up on some fuel for the day. I already drank a Monster when I first got up this morning, so I'm at least a little bit awake. All right, we have a 25-minute drive to the hospital, and then I have to see the post-ops that we did yesterday. So I did 4 surgeries yesterday. They all went well. 1 toric, 3 monofocals, no big issues or anything. So we'll try to see, I think 2 or 3 of them, 1 or 2 of them couldn't come at 6 a.m. So we'll see the ones that did, and then the other one will have to be seen by the other residents, hopefully. So yeah, let's go from there. Okay, I'm heading in now. It's gonna be like 25 minutes before we get there. The goal for today is to chop. So I talked a little bit about it in the intro, but basically what chopping is using, well, there's different ways to do it, but what I'm gonna do is use the phaco handpiece and a chopper, an instrument called a chopper, to work together to basically split the nucleus in half is the goal. And basically it's a technique that I haven't really tried before that I'm pretty excited to try. Just looking at the lens densities and, kind of the parameters of these patients' eyes, I think today is a good day to practice this because a lot of them seem like they'll lend themselves well to chopping for a novice chopper, such as myself. So we'll see how that goes. I watch a lot of cataract coach videos on it. So at least in my mind, I have the idea of how that works. So we'll get my attending to show me kind of his method, and I'm gonna try some horizontal chopping. We'll see how that goes. At least for the first 3 cases. The last 2 I might do like a pre-chopper on, and because they're a little softer, so we'll see. But I don't know. It kind of reminds me of this time when I was younger. So when I was younger, I used to be I was into martial arts, and then from that I kind of branched into something called tricking, which is similar to free running if you know about like parkour and free running, but tricking is more of a gymnastics mixed with martial arts type acrobatics thing, where it's a lot of flipping and a lot of kicks and things like that, less than like parkour, like running through the city and stuff. Anyways, I was very into this thing called tricking, and I remember one of the main reasons that I got into it is because when I was little, I remember watching the Power Rangers and seeing the White Ranger run up a tree and do a backflip off the tree, and just thinking, oh my God, how is that humanly possible? And ever since then, I wanted to be able to do that kind of stuff. And so I got into it when I was older. And then I remember thinking when I was, like in the 7th grade, like I would just like run through it in my mind over and over, like doing that flip off the wall. And then one day it just kind of clicked with me. Like I was pretty certain that I'd be able to do it. Like having never practiced it or tried it, I just kind of felt like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can do this. I've done it like so many times in my head. I think if I go try it, I'll be successful with it. So I went over to the elementary school like next to where I live. There's a big grassy patch next to a brick wall, and I just gave it a shot. I ran at the wall and put 1 foot on it, planted, and did a backflip off of it. The first one was like a half success, kind of like 3/4. I kind of landed like face down, but then like the second and third time I was able to do it. So I do really think there is something to like visualizing doing something over and over and over. I think it was Larry Bird who was like noted to have said like before he played a basketball game, he had played it 100 times in his head before. So just kind of running through the possibilities, running through the scenarios, what he's gonna do in certain situations. And so in my head, I just like do this over and over and over. And like, this is where I'm gonna put the phaco probe, this is where I'm gonna put the chopper, I'm gonna bring it together. And it just kind of like, so at least in my very subconscious brain, I've done this before, although I've never physically done this before. So I think there is actually something to that. At least fingers crossed. We'll see how that goes today and if that plays out. Oh, so I just ate that entire bowl of mangoes. Very good. Highly recommend mangoes. Favorite fruit. Anyways, we're about to head in to do the surgeries, or rather to see the post-ops and then to do the surgeries. Hopefully I can get into the hospital. I think that door doesn't open till 6 and it's about 5:45 in the morning right now. So we're gonna see if we can get in. Hopefully we can. All right, let's go. So actually tonight will be interesting because we have a interview dinner, for like a Zoom interview dinner for the applicants who are applying for residency here, where we like talk to them for like an hour and answer their questions if they have any. And so we do that. They order us food, which is kind of nice. Getting bacon wrapped chicken balls, and then we'll do the Zoom thing. Anyways, it looks like they just opened the doors of the hospital, so luckily I should be able to get in here. All right, I convinced them to let me in early. So I got through the door, got our cleared for a COVID thing. Gonna go see the pre-ops, post-ops. All right. So the patients are not quite here yet. So we will wait until they get here. I need to be up in the OR by 7 a.m. this morning to go ahead and start pre-opping the patients who are actually doing surgery on today. So I need to see 2 or 3 patients this morning between 6 and like 6:45 to make sure that their post-op day 1 looks good. And nobody else is gonna be here till like 8:30. So hopefully they show up on time so I can see them. Anyways, we will wait. Hopefully they come. So I just saw 2 of the post-ops. They looked okay. The other 2 are coming later. So hopefully the other residents can help me out with that. The first patient is, he called and canceled this morning at 4:30, the one we're gonna operate on today, because he couldn't get a ride home. I'm trying to help him arrange a ride home with his friend so he can have surgery today. So hopefully we can actually do his surgery. I gotta call him back in a second, see if he was able to get in contact with his friend, and then we'll try to just bump him to a later slot, I suppose. Okay, 1 down. I basically did like a phaco chop, so divided, split the nucleus in hemis, and then tried to chop. One kind of mushed up one of the hemis, so it didn't really chop as well. The other one like sort of chopped, but it was kind of mushy. It was a softer lens than I thought it was going to be from the pre-op for whoever signed it up. So it ended up being that it was a little too soft probably, at least for me, chopping right here in the beginning. The next one should be more dense, so hopefully it will chop better. I tried a horizontal chop technique. Anyways, got the lenses for the second case. Still trying to get the first case to come, trying to get him a ride. Try to put him at the end of the day. We'll see if he shows up. So my first 2 cases went good. We chopped on that first one a little bit. Second one I had to put a Reno, small pupil with IFIS, so I didn't chop on that one. Because I'm ahead of schedule, I take some time to read this Kindle book called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. I highly recommend it. I'll link it down in the description below. So here's our third case. This is actually using the pre-chopper. So it's a super cool little instrument, and it's this little knife basically that kind of digs down into the nucleus. And then when I get down in the nucleus, it spreads it apart into 2 hemi nuclei.
And here you can see I haven't really gone deep enough, and so it's not wanting to split. So I keep digging it a little bit deeper, and it starts to create a crack there. So it starts to work, but I just didn't really dig down deep enough with it right there in the beginning. And so for the next case, that's something I'll try, is actually go deeper. But eventually we get the crack to kind of propagate through and then come out with the chopper.
3 cases done. So we just did the pre-chopper on that last case. It was pretty cool. I didn't dive deep enough on the first couple tries. I've never used that before, so this 4th case we're going to try to use it again, but I'll just dive deeper, try to get a good split there in the beginning. It's kind of a cool instrument. I like that. I guess it works good on like kind of like softer but not super soft lenses. But anyways, one more case. It's like 1 o'clock, so actually ahead of schedule, believe it or not. So we'll do this one last case, then we'll head down to clinic. Gotta write the op notes. Let's go.
So here we are in the 4th case. I've got the Rexus May going in here with a little bit more OBD just to fill the chamber, and then I'm going to go in with that pre-chopper like we did in the last case. So go in horizontally with it, and then when I get in the anterior chamber, I'm going to rotate it into a vertical position there. And here on this time, I'm really going to dig down deeper, all the way down into the meat of the nucleus so that this gets a good crack. So I've dug down, and now I'm going to actually squeeze the pre-chopper, and there you see that split, perfect split right down the middle. One more just to make sure that it propagated, and now I have 2 heminuclei. It's that simple. I love this instrument.
All right, so done with the cases. They went well. They all went really good. That last one was fairly quick too, as you know, I'm in the teens on minutes, so getting faster. The pre-chopper helped, obviously. Didn't have to groove or anything. And then gonna go down now, actually write the op notes for these patients in these cases, and then try to help the clinic some, see the last few patients, and then go home. We went down after the cases and finished up clinic. I signed up 2 more cataracts, and then saw a couple more patients, and when we finished, and it is now 6:30, so it's already dark. Now we're gonna go home. Actually gonna stop and get food. They buy us food for these Zoom applicant interview dinners, so we're gonna be interviewing applicants for residency tonight on Zoom. Not interviewing, but having like the pre-interview dinner. And then, so gonna go do that. And then later tonight, gonna get out the iPad Pro because I finally have enough energy to do it tonight and try to work on using this new cool software that I got, this app called Shaper 3D that I'm using, trying to learn like CAD drawing on type stuff so I can make my own surgical instruments and make my own like 3D printed models to like test things out rather than having to outsource that anymore. So that's a skill that I'm going to try to learn in 2021 and get decent enough at to be able to 3D print my own like prototypes for surgical instruments that I can kind of test, and then if I can refine them, basically myself. And then if they work, we will work with the instrument company to see if they might be interested in making it. So anyways, that's what I'm gonna do tonight. Let's go home. Well, all right, we made it about 5 minutes home, and then boop, flat tire. So let me show you one of my other skills here, changing tires. I took the tire iron out of my car to change my wife's tire when hers went flat a little while back, and I didn't put it back in my car, so I got it up on the jack. I don't have a tire iron, but luckily one of my friends, Katie, who is a co-resident, hasn't left yet, and it will be passing by, so I'm hoping she can stop by and lend me her tire iron so I can change my tire and go home, because I would love to go home at some point during the day. All right, so I was finally able to change the tire. Unfortunately, when I got the lug nuts off, it had rusted to the wheel well, or whatever you call the thing, the brake pad. It had rusted to it, so I couldn't pull the tire off. I had to shake the whole car to loosen it and kind of break that rust. So I got it off, got home. Anyways, I missed the
applicant interview dinner, so I didn't really get to participate in that, but I did have a one-on-one call with one of the applicants who wanted to ask me some questions specifically, so hopefully I helped her out a little bit. But anyways, overall, good day. Could have done without being stranded, but we got to do some phacos. We got to try some chopping. So I hope that was somewhat informative. If you guys liked the video, leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.